Good morning and welcome back, or whatever time it is that you're looking at this, afternoon, evening. We are having a wonderful day, a beautiful day. It's like 80 degrees. It's not raining. It's not blistering hot, which means that I get to work on the barn today. I know you guys have been waiting for this video, so without further ado, today is barn building day. Alright, welcome back guys. We are going to be working on the barn today. It's going to be a great endeavor. I'm going to go in it with a positive attitude. So that way we're not discouraged if something does go wrong. I wanted to show you something really quickly and ask you guys for some information that you might have that we don't. And you can leave your information down in the comment section below because it might help someone else as well as us. But first I want to show you this. Over here behind the barn, this is where we were running the goats the last time. Look at how tall this grass is. So we're bringing the goats back over here because we have been running them in the front yard next to the garden. And as you can see over here, it's not uber tall. It's kind of been stunted. I think we ran our chickens a little too much last year on that. And we kind of saved this for when we had goats because this is where we want to run the goats a little bit more regularly. But we have moved them back over here now with the pigs, and we're getting ready to run them back up all of this area over here. So I'm excited to see how this turns out. This has had about 60 to 90 days of rest, and I mean, that's tall, guys. That's the side of the barn. Let me see if I can walk in here and show you. Okay, if you can see, this is where we're at. I'm about 5'6", so this is about 4 or 5 foot of grass. So this is gonna be good for them. I'm excited for them. And I don't show you that because I want you to see how tall our grass is because we don't mow our grass. I asked that because some of you may be able to help us out. So we've had the goats for a little over 8 weeks now, and about 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, we went from getting about 3 or 4 quarts of milk from our mini La Manchas to we're only getting about a quart, maybe 2. We were milking twice a day. We're now milking once a day. And they haven't had as much grass out there for 2 reasons. One, there's not as much out in the front pasture that is accessible to them that's taller. And then also it has been raining a ton. So I'm hoping that this will help moving them over here, but we'll see how this goes. I'm a little concerned about the massive amount of milk decrease that we're getting, but if you have any information for us, please leave it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. If not, we're just gonna try it and figure it out. I think it's a nutritional thing, but we'll find out here hopefully soon. Hopefully get them back up on their milk producing abilities, but until then, you're kind of along for the ride with us, so hopefully we'll get this all figured out. Honestly, what that tells me is I'm probably missing something super vital in the sense of what they probably need to be eating. I think right now what we were doing was a locally sourced grain, and then we had some Thorvine kelp and our pasture and then supplemental hay, just because like a lot of our pasture isn't supportive of the full 90 days of rest, so we've got to supplement a little bit, but I'm still missing something. So maybe it's back to the books and try to figure it out, unless one of you have an answer. That's not bad. I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. All right, let's walk you through the process here, because I think we've gotten a couple things done since the last time we were here, and we have a bunch of new people. So if you're new here and you are excited about this barn build and that's why you are here, if you've missed the first 2 videos, I will link them up here or over here, wherever it is. There will also be a link to the playlist in the description box below. Go check that out if you're behind. But where we are so far, so if you remember, we had this wall up, and this was the last thing we were working on. We were actually working on this corner and this wall, and as you can see, this wall is now white. We have been able to get this wall primered and kind of protected from the weather. We've actually done all of it, as you can kind of see, but some of the weather has not been best friends with the boards. So I'm having to take some of them off, go backwards a little bit, replace them with some new boards, and then I'm actually just going to focus on this today and get it painted so that way I don't have to keep going back and doing it. This is the next thing. We're almost done here on this side, and I've got a little section here, and I need to reinforce some of the boards because they're doing the same thing where they're starting to bow and split and that kind of thing from all the water. So if we can get in here and get these painted and get this side painted, then this whole section will be done. That's my plan for today if I can get it going. If I have more time, being able to not do it has showed me some things. So we haven't been able to finish this. And then this side has started to fall apart because I didn't actually put a skeleton on this side. As you can see, this is what I'm calling my skeleton. So I didn't reinforce the wall. I just kind of made the stall, put the boards up, and basically tried to reinforce them with the ends of the pallets. And as you can tell, it has not worked out very well. So I'm gonna move most of these boards over to this side and hopefully get this whole section done, but that's if time permits. I don't know if time is going to permit us to do that today. Probably not, but I'm not going to overdo it. I don't want to overdo it. You're probably also wondering why we haven't been working on this project for like the last 2 months, because it's not exactly like an excusable offense. There have been a couple of occurrences that have kept us from doing so that I have no control over. One, Jordan has had multiple appointments lately to figure out what's going on. We still haven't figured out what's all completely going on, and we're now collectively almost 2 to 3 years into this, and then also 6 months into the last time she went to the hospital. So we've had some doctor's appointments we've had to go to and kind of recover and do that. So being out in the heat does not make recovery as easy as possible. The second thing is, over the last 2 months, we've had nothing but like torrential downpours. So even though we got primer on this wall over here, all of these walls have been wet and sopping, and I can't work with wet pallet wood because it's hard to work with. It expands, it contrasts. So, and it's hard to work in the rain when you have power tools, you're trying to make a video and that kind of thing. So sadly, we haven't been able to do that. Third of all, we've been either working in the garden or actually like working at our full-time jobs a lot recently to kind of bring in what we need to bring in for the end of the season, and then also just putting extra money on the debt. That's kind of taken a priority recently, so those are our excuses, I guess, why we haven't done this, but now we have some time, and it's actually nice outside. So I should probably stop talking and get to work. So finishing up this side over here is pretty simple. All we're really doing is I'm taking some of these boards down that have like problems on them and either trimming them up or just replacing them completely with some new boards And then as you can see here, I'm just putting these two in place of some old ones. And really all this is for is just to try to make it a little bit more watertight. We're gonna end up trimming out the whole thing when we're done, but for now I want it to be as watertight as possible, and this is the best way to do it. I've gotten some newer pallets and some newer pieces of wood to do this, so I'm gonna take advantage of it and go back just a smidge to try and make it a little bit more watertight. Look at this. Ooh! Look at that. Oh, let me move this thing out of the way. Look at this, guys. Oh, that's so nice. That actually looks really good. So now we're gonna get some paint on here, get this thing painted, see how it looks after that. I think it's gonna be like a game changer once it's got some white on here. Woo! This is looking good. And then we can work our way around to the side. So get this side finished up, get this painted, and then these two whole sides will be done. I think Miss Jordan will like it. I think that's what we're gonna get done today. But fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Let's start mixing some paint. All right, so we're gonna prep up here. I've got my paint tray, and I learned this from another YouTube channel, and I'm wondering if it actually works. So they said take a trash bag, and you don't have to turn it inside out, I guess, but I'm going to because it'll make it easier to take it off. And then literally just slide your paint tray in there. And then that way, once you're ready to pour the paint, anything that's kind of left over, you just put it in there. It'll keep it wet, or you can throw it out. And there's no unnecessary cleanup to do afterwards. So, we're gonna give this a try. I think it's gonna work. Let's start painting some sides. Now, I'm sure there are some of you who are thinking, why am I not taking more precautions to be clean at this point? But guys, it's an outside barn that I knocked down with like 120 grit sandpaper that sees most of its life outside. Do you get where I'm going with this? Cleanliness is not my first problem. I mean, it is a problem, but it's not my first problem. There's a whole bunch of things that I could do to probably make this stick better, but we're gonna just put it on and see what happens. This side's done really well, so I'm not too concerned about this side. It's about 7 o'clock. This is done and painted. That looks really nice. I have no complaints about that. I think that will work out perfectly fine. But I'm gonna try to get this other side done. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna have time to do it. But I wanna get all this painted, but I've gotta fix these holes that are right in here. It's not gonna take me that long, but we're gonna hoof it, we're gonna get it done. I only got about an hour before the sun goes down. And it looks like we're gonna have some overcast, so I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to finish it, but we're gonna try to get it done. Miss Jordan is out at a herding event with Ray. She's been so excited about going to this herding event, basically just going, learning about training your dogs to herd sheep or different kinds of animals, And as you guys know, that is something we really want to get done on this homestead. So she took the time off today to get that done. Let's see if we can get it done before she gets home so she can actually take a look at it. All right, we're gonna put some paint on this thing, but I think by the time I get the paint on, it's gonna be a little too dark. So, gonna put some paint on, and we'll see you in the morning. See you in the morning. Bye. Good morning.
Good morning.
We're gonna go look at the side of this barn. It's a late night getting it painted, but we got it done.
So excited.
It needs a couple more coats, but it definitely changes the look of this barn. So,
Truly.
ready for this? Ready for this? Bam!
Woo!
It looks crazy awesome. You would not have thought that that used to be a carport. So this side looks good. We plan on trimming out the edges and the corners.
And putting a nice sliding door on that we can slide off to the side on either side, and then so we can lock it up at night. But I'm excited.
Yeah, but so far so good. We'll get this finished up on the other sides. We're gonna get this side done, redo this side, and then we've got to finish the far wall over there. We'll get it painted, and then we'll start talking about sliding doors. But at this point, I think we're done. If you guys like this build and you want to see more, you can check out this playlist up here. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. And what are we gonna do?
We'll see you next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.